Hello, I'm Reverend Portia Cabot, pastor of Clare Memorial United Methodist Church, and thank you for tuning in to For the Love of You. Just so happy to be able to come into your living rooms and to share with you the love that I have for each and every one of you, and to make sure that you are loving on yourself. As we continue to focus on different topics this year, I pray that they will be topics of interest to you, and I'm happy today to have with me Erin Bowman of the Eastern Nebraska Community Action Partnership here in the city. When I first arrived, it was GOCA, and so I've invited him to come and to share with us what that agency is doing. And so at this time, let me introduce Erin Bowman and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to Omaha.
Sure. So Eastern Nebraska Community Action Partnership, or NCAP, was opened in Omaha in 1965 as Greater Omaha Community Action. So GOCA was the acronym for many years, but the Community Action Partnership piece of it is because we're a part of a larger national network that came out of the War on Poverty in the mid-60s that created community action for communities to decide how they were going to improve living conditions, economic opportunities, et cetera. So we're one of over 1,000 agencies nationwide that touch 99% of the counties in the U.S., including Alaska and Hawaii. So there's 9 of our agencies in Nebraska. We're all independent. Ours serves Douglas and Sarpy County, and so every corner of both counties, even though our home office is in the heart of North Omaha and we have one office in Bellevue, our service area, our required service area, is all of Douglas and Sarpy County. So I've been working with community action for the past 15 years, and then a bit in Omaha since October of 16, and it's been a wonderful opportunity, and excited to be here with you this morning.
Okay, well, thank you. So now for the war on poverty, and we see that poverty is still here and people are still suffering. What are some of the programs that NCAP has that can address these poverty issues?
Well, it's a good point, is that I think the war on poverty is ever continuing because the conditions of poverty in our communities are constantly evolving. So as we take care of one need in the community, something else may bubble up. So the point of community action is to be constantly adapting and evolving our services, so we should never remain static. I think we get in the tendency that if money's coming in and it feels good and we're doing work, that we don't question, is this the right work that we should be doing? And so since I've gotten to NCAP, we've made a lot of changes. Currently our major initiatives really focus on emergency utility and rent assistance, because we know families get into crisis and need that portion of funding, or to get them by till the next paycheck, to get them by to the next billing cycle. So we do a lot of that, but we hope that that's a connection for that family to get involved with our staff, to receive ongoing coaching, education, job help, et cetera. So that's kind of the basic needs support. Included in that is also food assistance. And so we distribute commodity supplemental food programs. So a lot of folks talk about the cheese they received as kids. So we have continued to do that for years, and so we service about 1,600 seniors in actually 5 counties every month. And so
is that USDA?
Yes, that's USDA. And so a lot of those, we have pantry hours at our North Omaha office. We have pantry hours at our Bellevue office, where we also operate the Bellevue Food Pantry. But then we also deliver food to homebound seniors, which for a lot of those folks, we're their only outlet to the outside world. And so we're really going to be focusing on the next few years on really building senior wellness programming, because that's such a great need. But a lot of folks don't think about seniors as, that's not the most popular population. Usually, it's kids, it's other services.
Or families.
And so we do a lot of senior outreach events at the agency, and we're going to try to reach out more and more in the community moving forward.
Okay, so is your main focus on seniors because they are that silent, or people tend to forget them?
Good question. It's one of the main populations because we have to act on what data shows us. And so we're required to do a community needs assessment. And so we did one last year, and really that showed us that senior wellness is a huge need. Everything from preventing falls to reducing isolation of seniors. And really, when I think about it, we really talk about it's about life improvement versus life maintenance. A lot of folks just think, well, seniors are good, they've lived their life, they can just get by till the end. And we really want to do things that really can improve the lives of seniors.
Okay. And most of them want to be independent and want to stay in their homes.
Yep. And they've got great stories. They're vibrant. They do a lot. And so one of the programs that we'll be starting is we have a generation exchange program. And so it's a program that's operated currently in the Los Angeles School District.
Okay.
But we've been given permission to replicate that program in Omaha. And so what that is training seniors who are able to go in and provide math and reading help to a young K through 3 classrooms. But the focus, while the students, of course, benefit from that help, the focus is really on the seniors' health changes. So are they having greater mobility? Are they eating better? Are they having better blood pressure? And so really focused on evaluating the impact on those seniors who are mentors. And so hopefully, I think at the latest by this coming fall, we'll be in a few closer classrooms at Lothrop Magnet Elementary. And so we're excited to see where that goes as we start it up.
Okay. And so you're getting some of the seniors that frequent your agency now to go into Lothrop? Because I guess Lothrop is the closest elementary school, since Saratoga is not a elementary school anymore. Okay. So when we think of NCAP, because GOKA just comes to mind, I do recall that there was a senior group that met on Thursday mornings or once a month. Do they still meet?
There is a group of seniors who are kind of our home group, I would say. So Miss Ruth Matlock was with us for 40 years. She just retired in December, and she did a lot of work over the years to build that group. And so there's a group of about 10 who are the most vocal participants who are going to help us shape the next phase of programming. But there's probably a group of at least, I would say, 40 to 50 when we do breakfasts that will show up and be there. And I think the thing for us is how do we, when we deliver food to 1,600 seniors, you know, we visit every tower, we go to senior centers, how do we get them to us? Part of what we can do, I think, and one of our initiatives is really focusing on transportation as well. We know that's a top need in the community, but it takes buses, it takes drivers. The nice thing is we have a really committed team of part-time drivers who currently bus students who are homeless and students who are ESL migrant students within OPS. And then we've started a few pilot projects just to see where we can meet that need most, because we know that the need far outweighs the services that are available. Bus services are a little bit inconsistent, they don't run the right hours, and so in the next few years we're going to be figuring out how we can increase transportation resources for families, seniors, people with disabilities, to make sure that we can start to kind of chip away at that need, because people without transportation are without, don't have free access to opportunities.
That's true, or to be able to get around. That's an excellent program to hear and to know that you're partnering with OPS and for those homeless students, because so often they are forgotten also, and the fact that they might be sleeping on someone else's couch or even, God forbid, outside. So then with that case, do y'all still have an after-school program?
So we don't do as much youth programming as we used to. Kind of the one change is we've started to partner with Bannister's Leadership Academy to provide some space. Hopefully they may have some step-up young people at our space this year. And really the focus for NCAP, because in a lot of communities across the country, a community action agency has to be the agency. So a lot of, especially if you're located in a rural area, the only game in town is usually community action. The nice thing about where we are, there are so many nonprofits and so many services. NCAP gets to kind of pick its spot and figure out where we can make the greatest impact. One of those things is, you know, we have a behavioral health program, which we know mental health needs are huge.
Very important.
So we have a full-time licensed therapist. We typically take clients who are on Medicaid. In our next few years is to figure out how we can expand outside of North Omaha and open a clinic location elsewhere. And so we're working on some different partnerships just to figure out, again, where can we make the most impact and reach a population that's not reached currently.
Okay, I mean, that's so important in the partnership part of your name, that you are actually collaborating with other agencies that are in the city. And so to see what you are doing and what you hope to do, because Bannister Academy is for just young men, isn't it?
I think it's both.
It's both? Okay.
Again, it's a whole host of ages. I think it goes from, it's elementary age all the way up until 18, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the fact that you're bringing or working with them. If someone wanted to volunteer at NCAP, how would they go about doing that?
They would need to talk to Robin, and so
Okay.
Robin Wilkins, you can call our main number at 402-453-5656, and Robin's extension is 235, and so anyone who wants to bring in a group, we just had UNMC, the Fontenelle Clinic staff was here the other night packing food boxes. But we'll find something for you to do to help us out, because with a staff of only 28, and really 10 of those are part-time drivers, any volunteer help, and we're trying to build that system so folks, you know, we're a trusted name in Omaha, but we want more and more people to come through our doors to see what we're doing and where they can help out and how they can get connected to our services.
Okay, and so the reason that we're having this conversation today is to get the word out so that you would know what NCAP has to offer. Give us the address again of NCAP.
So we have two offices. 2406 Fowler Avenue is our main location. It's the right across from Saratoga School. It's an old retirement home, and we're slowly but surely making improvements, but the space has become so much better. And one thing we're working on is upstairs we're starting to rent space to different organizations who kind of have similar missions. So currently we have a couple of offices for Heartland Workers Center, upstairs, and we'll be opening that up to more agencies, because we really want, with 13,000 square feet per floor, the more we can have folks in the building and providing similar services, the better for the community to have.
And so that's 2 floors or 3 floors?
So we have 13,000 square feet per floor with 3 total floors. So the third, our top floor, has the most space available. And that also is the space that houses our print shop. So we have a screen printing shop that we're working on that used to be a youth job training program. When I got there, we found all the equipment, you know, torn apart and taken apart, and we found a client with some amazing skills. And so now we have a pretty thriving business, and we'll be launching that officially this year. And so
I know we've had some shirts made through the North Omaha Community Care Council that NCAP is a part of, and appreciate your support in that. So are you looking to hire some young people, or are you bringing them along where they can learn about printing? Yeah, well, so it goes back to the results-driven partnerships. Part of our mission is we really figure out where can we form partnerships that move the needle for both organizations involved. And so we're working kind of quietly with some other organizations on figuring out how we can have kind of a pipeline of workers in the shop who can help us get out orders, deliver customer service calls. And so that'll be part of our launch this year. We're just finalizing the details now. Because it's a really technical skill. You know, there's chemicals and equipment and heat, et cetera. So trying to find out what's the best opportunity for folks to gain really those soft skills, you know, showing up, doing a good day's work, cleaning up, et cetera. So we're kind of figuring that out. And that would be good for those students that you have for Step Up during the summer, to at least see who's interested. I don't know how you will select your students. Let's go back to the food program. Excuse me. What information do people need if they come to your food pantry, or to receive, as we say, that government cheese? Yes, so it's seniors 60 and up, and we calculate based on 130% of the poverty line. And so that's the threshold. So usually they need to bring in some type of proof of income, whether the Social Security payment they're receiving. A lot of times they'll have to bring in a utility bill or something to show their address. And then if we have a spot available, then we put them on the delivery schedule. Or say if they're in Fremont, there's certain places in Fremont we will drop off to, and then that food will be distributed from there. So for that food program, in addition to Douglas and Sarpy, we also have Cass, Washington, and Dodge counties that we deliver to. So all the surrounding counties. So we have to remember 60 and up, and proof of income, as well as proof of address. Okay, so then is that for just the pantry? So what about single parents or persons that need food? So right now we do pantry hours Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 2. We may be adjusting that just based on volume of people coming in that day, because the deliveries take
a lot of work with, we have just 2 full-time staff who deliver to 1,600 seniors, and so it's a lot of work. And so we're trying to figure out, again, what our place is in the pantry community, because there are so many generous pantries in the community. We have Heart Ministry Center up the street, there's churches, there's other organizations, and so we're trying to figure out what's the best place for our pantry to be, and do we have the staff capacity to support that?
Okay, so your pantry is mainly to be delivered to seniors.
For the most part, those pantry hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays are for those seniors to come in and who are local, who can pick up their commodities, and then we will get additional food through Saving Grace Food Rescue and the food bank, so they have the opportunity to shop and supplement their boxes with whatever we may have on the shelf that day.
Okay, so what's in a typical box?
So I wish my food program was here to tell you, but it's typically, there's going to be a starch, there's going to be a protein, there's going to be a fruit or vegetable, so it could be everything from a canned salmon, it could be pasta sauce, a bottle of juice, cereal, powdered milk, the cheese.
Okay, so something that can stretch and they can build different meals off of.
And we've been working with Whispering Roots to do some cooking classes so folks can know how they can make a $5 meal and put some of those things in the box to good use. Because again, you can get the food, if you don't know how to make it or don't have the means to make it, it may not be as useful to you. So.
Okay, so that's good. Do y'all have a kitchen on staff? Or, on the property?
Luckily, with a giant building that was a former retirement home, we have a wonderful commercial-grade kitchen downstairs, and so it's where the seniors cook their annual Thanksgiving lunch, where we have our breakfast and get ready. So yes, we have all the bells and whistles downstairs.
So the seniors actually cook the food for the lunch and for the breakfast?
Yeah, for about 20 years, that group of committed seniors of about 10 have been doing it all. And so now we have to think about what's the future, and as they kind of trail off and may not want to do that commitment, especially with Ruth not being there, how do we continue that?
Because since she retired. Does she still come through?
She'll stop by occasionally. I just actually reached out to her last week because she's kind of been the model for compassionate and effective service for us for a long time, and so we miss her dearly. So Ruth, if you're watching, we miss you.
Right, and we do appreciate all that she has offered in the community, because I remember Miss Ruth when I used to come with some of my senior members when I was in South Omaha. So that's how long I've been in Omaha to share. So then what else or how can the community help you or get involved with NCAP? Not that we need the services.
Sure. I think just going to the website is a good way to kind of learn what we're about, and we'll have a new website coming up in the next probably month or so, and so that is ncapnebraska.org is our website. And that'll give you kind of an overview of our programs, services, and it will talk about the board of directors, which is also kind of unique to community action, is that 1/3 of our board are private sector reps, so it could be a lawyer, a doctor, a banker. 1/3 are publicly elected officials or their appointees. And then 1/3 are constituent or low-income reps. So these are folks with lived experience in poverty, homelessness, et cetera. Could be 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but they can speak to the true needs of the community. And so right now we have a few vacancies open, and we're working on some partnerships with other organizations like Head Start in Sarpy County to identify parents or people who may want to fill those positions, and to make sure that we offer, whether it's transportation or food support or child care support, so they can be there and be a fully standing member of our board of directors and help us shape the next few years.
And that's so important to get the information from people who have gone through or still going through, because so often people want to say what they believe poor people or people living in poverty need. But to hear that your board has thought long term that 1/3 needs to reflect the community is awesome. I commend NCAP on that, and the fact that you have elected officials, because they know what's going on in the city or what legislation might be coming down or happening in the city. So that means a whole lot. Is there anything special that's coming up?
I think just as we roll out this strategic plan over the next 3 years, again, I think focusing on, we're doing a lot of work right now behind the scenes to figure out what does that transportation step we're going to take. I think NCAP, as we've announced that we're working on transportation, we become the most popular agency in the community. But it's a daunting task because, again, the cost of purchasing and maintaining buses. Our driver team is just a remarkable group of part-time folks who work a split shift, and we'd love to eventually bring them up to all full-time drivers. So I think people staying tuned on that, and I think just staying tuned for the new website, which will make it much clearer each of our program areas. And so if you want to help or donate, all those things are going to be right there. Also, the upcoming events, including our senior events, if there's a special transportation or behavioral health function, that will all be on the website too. So if you want to get involved or want to volunteer, that's how you can do that.
Okay, well that's so important. We hear that NCAP is in North Omaha as well as Bellevue, but they're serving the surrounding counties as well, and they have stated what they do in the community, what their needs are, but also how each and every one of us can get involved and to help. And to be taking on the transportation, I commend you. I know that Metro or this rapid bus system that's going down Dodge is saying, but we have to think of the common or the ordinary everyday folks just to get around, whether it's to school, whether it's different places that they need to. So I commend NCAP for hearing the people and recognizing their need for help. As we think about what the Eastern Nebraska Community Action Partnership is offering to our community, I hope that you will check out the website. What was it again?
It's www.ncapnebraska.org.
And location?
2406 Fowler Avenue, and then also 1908 Hancock Street in Bellevue.
And do you have those numbers just in case our viewers need to know the number and don't have time to go look it up?
The phone number?
Yes,
sure.
please.
The main office is 402-453-5656. And if you want to volunteer, Robin's extension is 235.
Okay, so we encourage you to check out NCAP, check out the services that they offer, and to go on their website, give them a call. If you are a senior, 60 and above, and are in need of food or assistance in your life, we invite you likewise to call and to share. We hope to be able to put the address and number up on the screen so that you will have it readily during this broadcast so that you can indeed call. What are the hours again at NCAP?
So our main office is open 8:30 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and then 8:30 to noon on Fridays. And then the Bellevue Food Pantry, I believe, is open 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and typical hours are, I think, 8 to 4 each day.
Okay, so I remember the Bellevue Food Pantry, especially during the flooding time. So we want to make sure that we support. If someone wanted to, or do you accept not volunteers, but donations of food?
We do. And if you want to call the main number that I provided, and we can let you know where that should go. In the next, another important thing to note that in the next probably coming year, NCAP will be playing an even larger role in the Bellevue Food Pantry, and so there'll be a lot more announcements as we kind of raise community awareness around food insecurity in the Bellevue community. So that's an exciting announcement that will be coming soon. So.
Okay. Well, I know that Claire Cares Food Pantry is on the third Saturday up at Claire Memorial United Methodist Church from 10 to 2, but I also have Cub Scout 362 and Boy Scout Troop 362. And there is scouting for food that's coming up in April, and so we will take a look at how our Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts go out for food and those agencies that we want to support. Because there's one thing to support the Heartland Food Bank, but it's another to support right within the community. And so we will look at possibly adopting them for the month of April. Thank you so much, Erin, for coming and for sharing and letting us know what the Eastern Nebraska Community Action Partnership is all about and what it's offering here in the community, and the fact that it's been around, that we want to appreciate the services that you render and to share with everyone that they can indeed not only get involved but also receive as we attack the poverty issue, not only in North Omaha, but also in the city limits and Sarpy and other counties around us. So thank you so much for
I appreciate the
sharing with us
opportunity
today.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to For the Love of You. Hope that the information that we've shared today is beneficial to you. Continue to tune in and see what else we have to offer here in 2020. Thank you.